Hello, everyone, welcome everyone. Welcome to Epic War 2, The Sons of Destiny. Prologue. Here guys, say music. The world was divided. From the ashes of the first world, three powers rose. Three powers stand tall and three powers clashed. The sorcerer humans, the mighty orcs, and the graceful elves. In a world-scale war, call that World War, but little did they know, as they fought amongst themselves, there was another threat. In the distant lands unknown to all, dangers brewing from hidden shadows of Middle-earth. Powers from an unsinkable darkness, from the depths of the darkest corners of each. Of Earth, from the darkest corners of Earth, gathering as they fight and as we speak. Shadows were rising, none of them knew, but as they fought amongst themselves, as they battled, men were being consumed by the shadows. The shadows crept up from the darkness and stole away at the evil and savage hearts of the soldiers. Either the humans, the elves, the orcs, any single soldier with an ounce of ill will in their hearts were spared. One by one, soldiers succumbed to their evil will and fell under control of the shadows. Thousands are consumed and thousands are under complete control. And all those consumed would march toward the lands of the shadows and gather where the shadows train an army ready to strike. Their only purpose, the destruction of all creation. But there are those who resisted. Men, elves, and orcs of the first generation formed an alliance against the rising shadows, and they called themselves the Sons of Destiny. But no strong will could compensate for the fact that these men were untrained, inexperienced, and underarmed. The Sons of Destiny were made of commoners, farmers, blacksmiths, thieves, and scholars. Some did not even know how to hold a sword. Yet the shadows are rising, and their army growing stronger by the day. Time was of essence, and time was little. The king of the Sons of Destiny, seeing the threat, has scattered out the lands for any man capable of turning the ragged militia into a film force, and he found you. You are given the position of commanding and training the troops. Every man who can wield a sword will obey your command. Every blacksmith who can hold a hammer will pound their metals day and night into steel for you. And every last monster and beast from all across the first world will heed your summons and fly towards your call. Can you raise an army strong enough to conquer the shadows and vanquish the threat once and for all? Or will the shadows strike down you and the Sons of Destiny and annihilate all existence? The fate of the first world is in your hands. Now we're left with the map. Okay. So I got in here, I did the first mission, or training mission, I think is what it's called. Only for like 20 seconds to see if it worked. It did. I didn't read the prologue. So, that seemed interesting to me. So the orcs, elves, and humans have banded together. We already knew humans and orcs have banded together in the, well, not orcs, elves have banded together in the first game because we had wizards and we had elven warriors fighting, and orcs were on the enemy team. So I'm taking a guess that the orcs saw what was happening when we're fighting the shadows. So the orcs switched sides and joined our team then, is what happened. So basically, the orcs are on the good side now, and we're fighting against people who fell to their side. So it's basically, we're going to send mutants as the enemy, it sounds like. So we have three missions here. Chapter 1, Training Grounds. Chapter 2, Investigations. Chapter 3, Corruption. I'm taking a guess, this is just all prologue missions to get you used to the game. We got statistics, we got different achievements here. We got game complete, which is probably all the missions. There's 18 missions. Killing, as one's lost. So let's start with Training Grounds. So we got Mankind. I'm assuming it's going to be Elven kind and then Orc kind. Just going off the fact that's what it showed at like the start of the game. It had like three people at the front. One of them was a human. All that story. So this is the first chapter. We actually had a little story for each one, which is interesting. So assuming the first game either happened shortly before this one, after the tower was destroyed, then all this shit happened, like the Sons of Destiny being made, we forced outside to surrender, all that, because it seems like we're fighting the orcs, really, and then they surrendered. Or that stuff was like thousands of years in the past. We'll see, though. It was a time of war for all three powers, each with their own strengths, their own worlds, and own views. In reality, there is no good or evil, only what you stand for. And yet, not even the three powers themselves are fully united. For each faction, there are further divisions, and human factions were in chaos. After the Dark War in which the Dark Empire crushed the first movement of the Sons of Destiny in the Battle of Shadows, the remnants of the Sons of Destiny fled in different directions, voodoo soldiers marching with supply lines cut off, and warriors collapsing left and right in a horrible retreat called the Death March. It was a terrible affair. The Dark Empire destroyed every resistance that the Sons of Destiny attempted, and the three races are scattered across the lands. Humans in the northwest plains, elves in the southwest fortresses, and orcs in the northeast mountains. And the Dark Empire claimed the rest as its own, forging a land ruled by shadows. Though the Sons of Destiny were scattered, their spirits and fervor were not destroyed. The humans, led by the king, retreated back to the northwest plains and got a new army ready to strike. But if their main forces crushed, they had no choice but to rely on the commoners. But danger came. At such a crucial moment of survival, a new faction of humans rose, calling themselves the Rebels. The Rebels were made of sellswords, thieves, and criminals. But their power was strong, and a majority of remaining forces of the Sons of Destiny struck their banners and joined the rebels, even his own general. And all the king had left was the commoners, made of farmers, thieves, blacksmiths, and commoners. Some did not know how to hold a sword. And in desperation, he scouted the lands out for anyone capable of raising a militia strong enough to crush the rebellion. Once strong and ready, the human race went all at war against the Dark Empire. And he found you. Thank you for this honor, your majesty. So where is this army that you're talking about? Right there. Good joke, your majesty. That's very funny. Where is the real army? This is my army. Your grace? You're joking. That guy is a farmer. That guy is a blacksmith. That guy over there is barely a squire. And that guy is holding the sword wrong. Your Highness, the southern gates have been breached. The rebels struck while you were assessing your new general, and our guards completely surrendered. And now our east and west gates are under siege. We gotta do something. General, this is your chance to prove your worth. For your first task, I order you, crush the rebellion and defend the west gates. With these men? You gotta be kidding me, King. Hey, King! But the king has already left with his royal guards to the safety of the castle, leaving you and the ragged militia to fend off an angry wave of heavily armed rebels. Sir, your orders? Swords up and armors on. I mean to strangle His Majesty when I get back. That is, if I make it back. First battle, guys. Press and hold A to shoot arrows. Press and hold S to shoot elements. Upgrade Tello for required for elemental arrows. Press Alt right to screen screen use. Okay, I like how to screen. It's a okay. Okay, I see our mana. There's definitely more units. So what is this? Human Squire, level 1 with 50. Okay. So we got, I don't know what, oh, we can't even hover over it. Mana boost costs 50% mana. Interesting. Alright, let's get some squires out. So they have archers, they got marksmen. Oh, we can set the top. So they have, I'm guessing that's melee defense, range defense, and magical defense. Fire, ice, and electricity. I think that's the blue's ice. See their health and their attack. Okay, let's see. So yeah, so we can fire 2 arrows with the thing. Oh, interesting. So now it's just not one flat line. There's actually a little bit of up and down graphically. Oh, there is no cooldown. It is completely based on your mana. I thought there'd be a cooldown, which is why I wasn't clicking it too much. There's no cooldown. So we can see ally units on the top. Oh man, it's only so hot. So I'm gonna keep honest. This game already looks a little bit better than the first one. Which is natural, because it's the second one in the 5-part series. There's also a game called Epic War Saga, but I don't know if that encompasses all games, or where that even falls into the timeline, if I'm being honest. Because got Epic War 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then Epic War Saga. Wow, that barely hits the archer. Alright, let's just save it for a mana boost. So now it's actually more powerful. Because I think the last one, in the previous game, you didn't need half your mana to get it. And I think it only boosted it by like 20% of what you currently had. This one is 30%. It takes half every time. Mana boost. Yeah. Yeah, 60 more. Good. I like how it says they don't have fire and then we're just sending out squires. I don't see no thieves. Well, I guess everyone's technically a squire if you just force them to be. So eventually we'll be able to play as the elves and the orcs, which is going to be interesting. I'm taking a guess. It's probably going to be like you can choose it as between orcs and elves later on. Oh, you know what? I'm looking right here on the right side. These are probably a quote-unquote heroes. No, these are the other races. Right here, okay, so this bottom left is humans, I can tell. So we got Squire, Archers, Wizards, different sword guy, Archer Cavalry, I think. Wizards, Knight is what that would be. Then over here we got, I believe that's a dwarf, which would probably be an elf side. That is an ogre, I think. That is an elven warrior, I'm guessing. And on the right, we got dragons, the archangel, and archdevil. In the middle here is the hero. I know there's heroes in the series that you can summon. I didn't think we'd be seeing one in the second game. I was thinking third or fourth. But I was waiting for me to get some mana before I did this, so let's go. Let's get a shit ton of squires now. So, I try to get these around 20 minutes, so we're probably only doing 2 fights per video, just like the previous game, just because now we got story to actually read between these and all that. But yeah, we got a lot of units in the front there now. Alright, come on, tee up. Okay, so they're sending out waves and we're sending out waves as well. So it looks like they actually feed off of our mana as well, which is actually really interesting. Also, one thing this can be improved, the arrows do not make a sound when firing. Thank God. Because that was definitely annoying, because by the end of the last game, you had to be firing consistently. And just hearing the sound was, it was not fun. Yeah, let's just do this. So I'm guessing that every unit can be upgraded, or I did look at the research tree temporarily, because I want to make sure the menus work and stuff, because I have gotten into a game before. The gameplay works when the menus don't. Just checking that. Make sure it worked. Oh man, this is kind of hyped though, getting into this. The background's better too. I'm assuming that will change as it goes on. Because the right side would be where the orc side, and the left side's probably the Shadow Empire and all that. Or Dark Empire. But it's interesting, we're not kings, so I'm assuming the king's probably... Well, no, the king of the Sons of Destiny is different than the king of the humans. Yeah, but we have, like, no chance, though, when they send out, like, 3 units at a time. Okay, so the enemy's a little bit smarter. They actually do batch sends instead of consistent units. That is definitely smarter than the first game, which is scary to me, personally. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We don't even have archers, sadly. Like, Q, is the hotkey, can I hold it? No, I still have to tap it. It's also interesting, so it's using, I'm guessing, QWERTY. So the top row of the keyboard for units this time. Or so I'm going to use it for the humans, so this would be Q, W, R, T, Y, U, I, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These could use numbers, though. Potentially. I don't know why I fired there. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay, this time I'm actually going to be damaging the castle. Okay, damage is shown faster in this game, too. Good. Come on. So this game, you actually can see the damage appear on the enemy building quicker. Damn. So it looks like we're about to win right here. Get our first W. Also, it seems like they might have changed when we get XP in this game, too. I just realized that. If it's based on the battle itself and not how many units we killed, that would probably be a way better change, honestly. Okay, first place down. Yeah, so there's like no zooming or too much. Return to world map, you win. Ah, okay, so this is what I was hoping would be in the first game. You get experience for killing units, and you get experience for beating the battle. In this game, that is how they did it. Thank God. So you get experience. I'm guessing battle experience is for units you killed, and then it's based on the actual battle itself, and also the score too is better. So it's based on how many units you created, subtracted by how many you got killed on your side, and how many you did kill, and that's your score, and you get a health bonus. So this is done. So let's look at research. So we got humans. I'm guessing. Oh boy. We don't have enough experience for some of these. So we can't get that. We can't get that. We can't get that. So we can only get these two. Human barrack research. Ability enable knight level 1, squaring level 2, add 20 points to max level. Could increase your archery. Enable archer level 1. Yeah, we need archers, dude. Grab it. So basically, it's buildings this time. Research, interesting. So now we can get archers. Let's do Chapter 2 Investigation Shadows of the King, Mankind. So, bottom right's the Shadow guys, right? Because it said Northwest Plan, so I think this is the Elves right here, and this is probably the Orcs right here. And the rest of this is probably going to be Shadowlands, because I can't imagine they're going to do more than probably like 3 for humans, 2 for Elves, 2 for Orcs, and then build up more with the rest of the game. Sorry, the west gates were successfully defended by your wonderful leadership. Unfortunately, the other 3 gates were breached and you were overwhelmed in the end. Oddly enough, rebels did not finish off the royal troops. Instead, as the castles got breached, they captured you and your entire troops and retreated. You were tied and bound to a horse, riding for days until the rebel camp reached the Sound Plains where their hidden base lies. And finally, you're dumped in front of the rebel leader. So basically, we defended our gate successfully. All the other ones got fucking obliterated. How do you fail to defend a gate on a fucking castle? The enemies did not have catapults, dude. They did not have battering rams. Just close the gates. Shoot them. Well, they had archers and we didn't, so man, that's why. And finally, you're done. Okay, let's go. Rubber leader. You get up, rubbing your neck. Your hands are tied. Damn! What did I do to deserve this? Greetings, General the King. Who the hell are you? My name is Rebel Leader Kolza. So what, you first name's Rebel, middle name Leader, last name Kolza? And what do you want with me? Relax, because I don't want to kill you. Instead, I have a proposal. And what is that proposal? Well, you remember the Shadow Wars, don't you? Of course I know. Who doesn't? It started out as a contest for power between humans, orcs, and elves, but at the same time, shadows from hell knows where came out of nowhere and started consuming soldiers. And so the remaining soldiers of all 3 races forged a desperate alliance called the Sons of Destiny and fought an all-out war, hence the Shadow Wars. What's your point? I'm wondering if the Shadow Wars was the first game. Well, for any sake, I'm glad you know your history well. Do you remember what happened after the Shadow Wars? Yeah. Our lands got crushed and our forces scattered across the lands, including us, the humans. And when the king returned, did you notice anything different about the king? How should I know? I was only made general, you know. Let's just say what we feared may have come true. We believe the king has been consumed by the shadows. You're kidding. We do not have much proof, but he was struck by a shadow sword in battle, and he's been bedridden and screaming day and night in a retreat, and suddenly the struggle stopped, and his wound started to heal. Don't you think this is suspicious? Yeah, that's not solid evidence. But after the wounds healed, one of our wizards sensed a dark aura surrounding him, as if he's in control like a puppet on strings. He acts no differently from his old self, but soon the auras of our other soldiers started turning darker. We believe the shadows are starting to spread. But the shadows should be far south to the Deadlands. Of course, we do not know for sure. This is why I captured and call for your cooperation. When we stormed the castle, it seemed like an easy victory. Too easy, in fact. But as we're about to storm the castle, one of our wizards said something horribly wrong. In the core of the castle, it was dark. In other words, in the king's hands existed a power we are no match for. The Connor troop was only a cleverly honey trap planted by the king, who might be puppeted by the shadows, but in reality, as we have witnessed, he commands troops of powers far beyond Run. Well, what do you want me to do? We witnessed your talent in leading troops in battle. You are only a small bird, but your wings will grow large. You fought a beautiful victory, and I believe that you may be the one destined to slay the shadows. But if you think you can't win with your troops at the moment, what makes you think I can? Even shadow sleep. At the darkness of night, I'll provide you a small group of raiders and assassins. Your mission will be to capture the king and bring him to me alive, along with all the schematics and any weapons that the shadow humans might possess. The mission sounds dangerous to me. It sounds like suicide. What happens if I refuse? Suddenly, you are surrounded by archers of crossbows, all aimed at your head with a rebel leader smiling at you. Well, it's either you cooperate, or you plant a dozen arrows in your throat. Now, which will it be? Oh, then, doesn't look like I'm much of a choice, do I? This is fucked up. This is messed up. So, they captured me because I won in the defense. They sworn me, captured me, whatever. They didn't want to fight the king because they since had a power far greater than they could handle. And then they send me immediately afterwards to go capture the king. What do you mean? If it's too much for you, how am I going to win? You have the numbers advantage. Click options to pause the game and adjust the volume. Click resume to continue playing. Oh, so it's telling you mana pull, click mana, I'm pressing your space bar. Boost your mana pull, quick instructions. You can research spend extra battles and upgrade those in battle access. Oh, you need to upgrade these during battle? Then as I thought, yellow meant. Wow. Interesting. So we actually have to get that upgrade before we can get to archers. Damn. So, oh boy, so this is different. Okay. So we don't get those units immediately. Alright, let's start fire. Surprisingly, let's get 2 arrows per shot off of this, though. I'm guessing it seems like it's probably because we can't upgrade this, or if we can, it'll be probably the 3,000 thing, because I only read the 2 I could actually afford. Oh my god. Rebel Leader Kalza, though, huh? I upgrade that, get archers. Okay, good. So why shouldn't I just spam archers? See, now here's what I'm already thinking meta-wise. Why shouldn't I just spam archers? They definitely have a longer range than squires, and archers are kind of like the ultimate weapon. They do 17 damage per head. They're a little bit squishy though. Alright, let's just do archers. Okay, so there's a slight cooldown, but it's not as obvious, and it's not as slow as it was in the first game. Which worries me, so that means in this game, spamming units is actually a viable choice. I'm assuming the mana cap will be the same, 9,999. Bam. Alright, come on, tee up. Oh my god, don't tell me that. Imagine I actually did find the damn meta already. Well, early on, I'm sure that's why there's cavalry units. I'm sure they're going to be quick for this reason, so I can't just do this, right? Because I'm one person who always loves using like a lot of range units in these war games compared to melee. Well, not all the time, but sometimes. Oh boy. Come on, tee up, guys, tee up. Yeah, and these definitely have more range than the archers ever did. The wizards ever did. Like, so they're a similar range to it, but the battlefield's smaller though. If you guys notice, it's like, I'd say like 30 to 40% smaller, which is actually better for, in my opinion, to make the game more healthy and all that. Alright, come on, let's get more archers. Yep, and now we're just unlocking. Oh, we got a hit on. They could hit by now. Alright, come on, tee up. Ooh, interesting sound for archers. Honestly, squires might actually be a little bit better for attacking castles than archers. Come on. Boom W. Alright. Ooh. Oh, they didn't give you mana now for the units killed after that. Okay, so we got this, 2,000 returns, okay. Ah, so we can always do the next two missions, it looks like. Research, unit tower, arrows per shot, and the catapult unit. Knight unit. So this is just for health. Hmm. I could do this to head across the men, this would give me more. This would actually be cleric. Okay, we can get cleric and we can get knights and better squires. But guys, that's gonna be it for this first video of Epic War 2. I hope you enjoyed, like, and subscribe if you did. If you didn't, oh well. Stay happy, stay healthy. Most importantly, stay icy. I'm hyped for this. I'm hyped for this. I'm so hyped for this. But anyway, guys, I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. Bye.